Good morning or afternoon, gamers. Have you heard of the gacha mobile rhythm game Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage, also known as Project Sekai, because licensing and copyright means they had to change this name internationally? No? Great! Have you also heard of MCM Comic Con London? Also no? Why are you watching this bloody video then? Anyway, assuming that you have at least some concept of some of these things, allow me to tell you a little story of things that happened. Can you tell that I have not planned out this video basically at all? And also, I'm doing this completely ad-lib. Okay, quick backstory. ProSekai is a rhythm game you play on your phone. It's literally just Chunim. It's Chunim, it's a very basic rhythm game, but it's got a story, it's also a visual novel. And before you say, wait a minute, isn't that the entire point of NOISZ? This is better than NOISZ. It's not really annoying. Yeah, I got into ProSekai around June, I think. There's 5 groups in the game, and I was like, let's do this one. And this one happened to be Vivid Bad Squad, which is comprised of 5 street performers, 2 of which are guys. However, from the very start of following that group of characters, the one character we stan this one specifically, I liked her character. I thought she was pretty cool and I liked her role in the story, and also she's got a very pog outfit. I saw that jacket and I was like, I want that. So the idea of cosplaying her had sort of existed in the back of my mind for a while. For some context, I started cosplaying around 2020 and wasn't good at it until next year. But let's keep going. Okay, now that you've got a backstory on ProSekai, let's talk about MCM London. It is basically the biggest comic con that we have in the UK. At least, the biggest con we have in the south. Can you tell that I'm a southerner and do not care for the north? Anyway, so it was on my radar, and then 2022, I find out that the podcast Trash Taste is going to be doing a guest panel there, and also meet and greet signings, etc. So I was like, oh shoot, I should probably go. So I did. Ironically, I never actually went to their panel. I was so busy just walking around and looking at stuff I didn't see it. However, since that was there, and at walking past at some point, I was like, oh that's her panel, it's right there. So yeah, last year's Comic-Con was pretty good. I went cosplaying Hatsune Miku, at which point I had very little concept of makeup or wigs or basically anything. It wasn't a great cos, but it was okay. And at the time I was like, that was fun, because I had very low expectations of it. Just going there, having some fun was a good time. So this year, I was very excited to do even more, because I was like, I want to get more into doing cosplay stuff and networking around that community. And there was a meet for ProSekai, the game that I like, on the Sunday. So I was like, I should probably go on the Sunday, because on last year I went on the Saturday. However, there's more to it than that. We will get into it later. Anyway, so it was coming around time for MCM Comic Con 2023, and I was thinking, well, who am I going to cosplay this year? I can't just reuse my one from last year. I could, but I didn't want to. So because I'd already cosplayed Miku to the arcade twice, and also to Comic Con last year, so I was like, okay, what are my options? And my options were basically either buying an Astolfo cosplay, buying an Anne cosplay, or fixing up an Asuka from Evangelion. And while I do have all the stuff for an Asuka cosplay, I don't look very good at it. And I was like, nah. Astolfo? We stan Astolfo in this household. However, I couldn't find a good seller, because the way I shop on AliExpress, because who would have thought, I'm a newbie cosplayer, I buy all my shit on AliExpress. For Astolfo, there was no like singular listing which everyone was buying from for the jacket. I only found very cheap, low quality listings, and I was like, I don't trust that. And also for the wig, I wanted to get a really high quality wig that was big and nice so I could style it, but most of them had moved out, and I am not at the level yet where I can just go on like Otter Wigs or any other like proper website and buying a thing and then styling it myself. I'm not there yet, so I was just like, okay, I'll put Astolfo on the back burner, let's do Arn. So I decided I'm going to go to this convention in May, and at this point it was, I think, March or April I made that decision. April, I believe. So I'm thinking, let's go on the Saturday. I went Saturday last year, I'm going to go Saturday this year, because Saturday is the biggest day, that's where I can find the most people, which is what I want to do. And then it turns out that I'd already booked a massive medical thing for the Friday. Specifically, I had booked to get 2 teeth removed for the sake of braces, which, yes, I am slightly late to that party, but shut up, shut up. So, I find out, oh shoot, I'm having this thing on Friday. So then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go on the Saturday, so I hold off on booking the tickets, which means I can't get my badge in advance, but whatever. Then I look at all the stuff they have on the website, realise there's a ProSekai cosplay meet on the Sunday, so I'm like, okay, let's go on the Sunday then, which ended up working out fine, because it means I was like, okay, I'll go have my teeth removed on the Friday, and spend only Saturday to rest up, and then immediately have the most busiest day of the year after that. And if that wasn't enough pressure, also, I hadn't been on any kind of big date out since March, because in March, I went to Babylon Park in Camden and got a fucking migraine playing Pump in the middle of a game, and ever since then, I have not been to an arcade because I have too much anxiety about getting another migraine. So that was another bit of stress. Like, what happens if I'm at the con and I get a migraine? Like, that was a big concern. So, no pressure.
Alright gamers, it is day of, which is slightly scary. Inexplicably, slept really well. The only problem is, it's sunny, right? Can you tell? Oh yeah, that looks fine. But yeah, yesterday I was spending a lot of time sitting outside, and it turns out my legs got like sunburnt.
So after I'd gotten up and had breakfast, I basically was immediately starting to prepare.
Okay, fit check. You can't see it because my room I reorganized my room and you can't see anything now. But yeah, it looks pretty pog. There's just one thing. So, shirt that came with it, right? If I can even find it. I can't find it, BRB. Okay, I got it. This is... Yeah, flop like that. It's just... It feels like it's made out of swimming trunks. It's just not very nice materials. So, like... I don't want to wear it. So instead, the fit is a fucking Discord shirt. Which a few years ago would have probably been fine, but right now it's really bad timing. It's like, who fucking likes Discord anymore? I don't know what that actually does. Like, I just kind of put it on. We'll see what happens, I guess. Okay, it doesn't look good on camera, shut up, but we vibe, we go with it. I think it's weird, it's like puffy at the top, but whatever. It's okay, I can work with this.
I had done all of that, and then I kind of forgot the part where I was meant to like pack my bags, because let's get on to that. Originally, the idea was that I was going to take a bunch of cameras, because I got this little thing, which is a digicam. It's a portable digicam. It's terrible, but I figured, oh, that's charming. Let's use that. I also have this thing, which is almost identical. I might do a video talking about these at some point, but this has a viewfinder, so it's much better for taking pictures. So I was going to take these, and then if I found like any cosplays that were Y2K core, I'd take a picture of them with this. So the day arrives, and I spent like almost an hour working on my cosplay and my makeup, and then like 10 minutes packing my bag, and it's just like, oh shit, I forgot this, I forgot that. And it was, yeah, it was interesting. The only camera I actually remembered to bring was the main camera I wanted to bring, which was a Nikon D3, which is like a proper high quality professional camera. It shoots in 4K, and it's from about 15 years ago. But hey, it works, and considering I got it for free on a loan from my uncle, I'm not complaining. The journey getting there was mostly uneventful. I got on at Station, and then I got off at Euston Station, and while I was walking around trying to find stuff, because I am not good with commuting, I just inexplicably saw someone else in the exact same Arn cosplay as me, and they just like, just said like, "Oh my gosh," and pointed at me, and I just looked back, pointed, and waved. I had a mask on at this point, and I was just like so busy thinking about everything else. I was like, blah, 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 blah. So I just waved and then kept going. But I'm like, that's crazy, and also I will definitely have to try and find them later. Spoilers, I did. One mistake I made was that I was fully in cosplay the entire time during the commute, including with the wig. And that wig, you wouldn't think it necessarily if you're not familiar with wigs, but like, I didn't think it'd be this hot. Because it's May, it's the end of May, but it's so hot already. So then, eventually, we change on to the Lizzie line. The Lizzie line? Yeah, that's right. The first day we came here was the very first day of the Lizzie line, wasn't it? Not first, but like close to. And then you get the Lizzie line. On the map, it says it's like half an hour to here, and then you get the Lizzie line, then half an hour. But honestly, on the Lizzie line, it feels like 10 minutes. It's like, oh my gosh, we're almost there. Side note, I effing love the Lizzie line trains because like they're so nice and wide and open, and also air conditioned. They're great. So I then get to the con. And last year, I was stupid. I didn't realize that there's a disability entrance, so my autistic ass waited in that queue for like an hour, or at least half an hour. And it was just up and down and waiting so much queue. I spent most of the time DMing other people who were also going to the con in a group chat, being like, I'm stuck in the queue, what are you up to? I'm also stuck in the queue. Wow! And then the only highlight was that right near the end of the queue, there was someone who had a plushie of Paimon from Genshin Impact, but like nailed to a stick or a pole or something. That was pretty funny. Anyway, this year, it turns out, no, there's a disability entrance.
As well, right hand side, there's a validator just to the bottom left.
I'm going there this year. Which was pretty pog. The only thing that was more pog than that was that there was an Amogus right after that. In fact, I encountered 4 Amogus during the con. I don't care that I'm breaking the timeline here. I'm going to talk about them right now, damn it. The first one that I saw there, then there was another guy who I saw later on who had a gun. So I guess that was the sussy imposter. Vine boom sound. I can't believe that that's 2 videos in a row where I've made a fucking Among Us joke, and it's 2023. The joke is so shh. And then lastly, I was taking a picture with someone, right? In the very first picture, you can see that there's just a guy in the background, and then when in the second picture, we just turn around, and it's just 2 giant Amogus behind us, and we're like, what? It was a pretty funny moment, though. It was pretty funny. The only thing better was that someone cosplayed the XL Center, which, if you don't know, is where the con's held. So it was the XL Center at the XL Center. We keep running into them. Free them. Anyway, back to the timeline. So I get in, walk past the first Amogus, and then I'm just like, well, what do? I just kind of walk around because I'm going solo this time. I had no one with me. So I was just like, okay, let's just go here. Oh, there's the first booth I went to, I think it was Bandai Namco. It's Gundam, so it could just be Bandai. Who cares? They had a Gundam statue, which was Pog, and this was the first picture I took with the camera, and it took the picture and it looked like a picture. You are seeing that picture right now. Anyway, so then I was walking around a bit and I'm like, damn, these do be halls and merchants selling things in a convention center. Also, there are lots of cool people in costumes and I want to take pictures of them, but I was legit too socially awkward to just be like, hi, can I take your picture? I saw someone cosplaying Bocce, right, from Bocce the Rock, based show, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Bocce, want it? But like, I couldn't just go up to them and say, hi, can I take your picture? Because I was too nervous, so I just didn't. And then I checked the time and I was like, oh, it's 20 past 12. The ProSekai meet is at 30 past 12. I should probably head to where it is. On MCM's own database, on the website and the app, it had the meet listed as on the steps near Sunborn, which didn't make any sense. However, it turns out the Sunborn is a giant boat that was nearby. I found it on Google Maps. Okay, so you go out the front of the convention center again. There are some steps. there was no cosplayers there. There were some other steps, nothing. I couldn't see anyone, and I'm like, oh, did they not do it? Am I too early? So then I'm just kind of sitting around not knowing what to do, and I see another Anne cosplayer. just walking around, and I had nothing else to do. I had no other lead, so I just started following them. And then eventually I just sort of went up to them and said, hey, do you know where the ProSekai meet was? And they were super friendly, and they also said, no, I don't, do you? I didn't either. So then I was just like, do you want me to take a picture? And they were like, yeah, sure, okay. And so I took their picture, and that was the first picture I got, the first of many. So at this point, I didn't really know what to do. We were just kind of looking around for anything. And keep in mind, it's very hard to identify specific cosplays at Comic-Con, because everyone is in some sort of funky outfit, which I love. But at the same time, it's like, no, that's just a different guy with orange hair. That's a different guy with pink hair. That's Spider-Man. That's Shrek. There was a Shrek. The Shrek was cool. So we were just kind of walking around, and the other Anne was like, oh, I think I see someone over there. So we just kind of walk in that general direction, and then we find the meet, which was cool. We got there just on time, I think. I don't know how much longer everyone else was there, but yeah, we got there, and it was very pog. We were all sort of standing around this area, taking pictures, and there's this one cosplayer who was Wonderland's ex-Showtime Miku, and she was like organizing the entire thing, I think. I didn't know at the time if she was like officially doing it or just like taking control, but she did a very good job. She was very good at like organizing everyone. She was like, okay, we're doing this now, and we were like, okay, we're doing this. So they went and did like photo shoots of all the cosplayers, so we split it into different groups, and then eventually a massive group photo. The funniest thing was, for most of the units from ProSekai, they had a fairly even distribution. Like, sure, more Jump, there was only 3 and 2 of them were dupes, but like mostly fine, mostly pretty good balance. And then for Vivid Bat Squad, there were 5 Anne cosplayers and a single Akito. And that's it! I did not think Anne was this popular of a character. I don't think there was any character with more of a presence at that meet than Anne. I think I saw as many Annes as I saw Hatsune Miku's. Which is weird. I guess it's just an easy cosplay. I don't know. But it was very funny. So we did the Spider-Man pose, except the picture didn't come out good, and then we all pointed at the single Kohane plush. Because damn it, I am having my lesbian representation. If we have to use a plush or not, I do not care. I am peeking the mic right now. So anyway, we went and took a bunch of pictures, and that was very pog. I also, at this point, was very much just comfortable. We were all vibing, because at this point, I didn't need to, like, do anything. It's just, hey, we're all fans here. We all know what's going on. We don't need any formalities, let's just do it. So I just going up to everyone, being like, your cosplay looks really pretty. Because they did. They all looked great. And I was like, can I take your picture? And then I did. And this just carried on for the rest of the con. The routine goes as follows. So if I saw anyone whose cosplay I liked, the routine was walk up to them. Oftentimes, I would literally break from whatever group I was in and just charge off in a direction, because I was like, no way, it's fucking Astolfo! I have to take their picture. I also have to knock over all my stuff in my bedroom, which I also did at the time, because this bag, it's a good photography bag. It's got pockets and things. But anyway, I'd go up to them, be like, hi, can I take your picture? And then be like, oh yeah, sure, okay. So then I'd go take their picture. Afterwards, I'd be like, do you have social media? Everyone said yes, except one person who was cosplaying Remilia from Toho, based, and they were just like, no, I don't have any. And based? Which is totally fair. That's like, honestly, good for you. It also means that, like, I can't give them the photo, which sucks, but whatever. Everyone else, they'd be like, do you have social media? Yes. And then as they're reaching in their pocket to get their phone, I'm reaching in my pocket to get a notebook. And then we basically notice about the same time that after they've already gotten their phone out, I'm like, hey, can you write it down here in this notebook? And so then I get out the pen, give it to them. They write it down, and then I'm like, oh, thank you very much. And then we go on. And I did that so many times. In fact, you can see the notebook has 2 full pages and a little bit more. How cool is that? Everyone was super nice. And basically the first thing I did after I got back in was to send the pictures to everyone. And yeah, that was very fun. Honestly, I really liked this role at Comic-Con because, like, I'll be the first to admit, my cosplays don't look amazing, which is fine. Not everyone's going to look great when they start out, and as long as you're feeling good in yourself, that's all that matters. And cosplay is a personal thing people should do for fun, damn it. Unless you want to take it seriously, but whatever, I don't. However, I honestly really like to just take pictures of other people. It's so much easier, because everyone else looks really pretty, and I don't. So I just go to everyone else and say, you look pretty, can I take a picture of you? And then I have lots of pictures of pretty people. It's also just easier, like, doing pictures in the third person than selfies with a phone. So I really like that. It also means I have basically no pictures of myself from the con, except pictures other people took. I'm going to take this off now. So the ProSekai meet was great. And after that, someone joked, like, what if all the Arns went around the convention together? And then we actually did that. Yeah, me and 2 other Arns just decided to form a group and go around, because, like, I had no one else to go with, so might as well.
Whoa, Inception.
Yeah, from there, it's pretty standard con experience, honestly. It's walking up and down halls being like, ooh, pretty merchandise, cool figure, costs lots of money. I kid you not. Out of the entire time there, we bought an ice creams before going into the con.
Hashtag content real. That's a great ice cream. This cost me £4, by the way.
And then soon after we started, there was this booth that had like some plushies, and I bought one, and it has little hands. You can make it hold on to stuff. Basically, as soon as I got it, I was just like, I just had to. It's too good of a look. It's too good. It's too cute. I had to. I'm gonna take this off again though. Anyway, so we're just walking up and down the con. Very standard con stuff. If you've watched Tom Scar's extended conventions video, there's a small point he makes about people vlogging Comic-Con, which he basically says don't do it, because you'll spend the entire time talking about the start, and then you'll cut to, so guys, we forgot to get any footage at the con, but it was really fun, and look at where I am now. The main thing was that I really wanted to get some sort of ProSekai merch, because I don't have any, and I saw someone got a Nene cube, and I wanted a cube, I wanted some plushies. However, we couldn't find any. We were walking all the way up and down, there's nothing.
It's legit the only thing we found so far, nothing else.
We just want an Akito to bully out of love.
Why is it that this one's 60 but then the rest are still 50?
Emo.
It took us so long, but we finally found a piece of ProSekai's thing. That's so cool.
I'm just hoping that they sold out on the first 2 days, and since I went on Sunday, there was just nothing left. I hope that's the case. Eventually, one of the Arns had to split up because they were so tired, which is honestly fair. So then it was just the 2 of us walking around, and then we get to the Asdaf movie booth, because remember I mentioned Tom Scott? I knew that'd be relevant. He wasn't there, he was busy at a panel, but everyone else was there, and we got to say hi, and they were very nice. And we spent like 20 minutes just standing around, and I had no intention of buying anything, but the other Arn was sort of considering getting one of the plushes, and I spent like 10 minutes just peer pressuring him, just like, come on, you know you want it. He ended up buying it. And then we went and saw Mr. Eddie Bowley, which was very strange because he was a man that I have seen in adverts for Surfshock VPN, and now he is in front of me. So I was said he had nice sponsor segments, and he said thank you, and then I helped the other aunt take a Polaroid picture, which ended up coming out blank, which is unfortunate. Then we walked around a bit more, and then there was a fucking arcade, which is pretty cool. I mean, sure, it's not like DDR UK revived from the dead and brought a DDR cab to Comic-Con. That's never gonna happen. Actually, no. There's literally a company in the UK right now who owns a Dance Rush Stardom cabinet, previously owned by Videotronics, previously in Bradford, now touring around fucking who knows where, whoever pays the price to rent it. And every year at Insomnia, they have a Dance Rush cab now for like 2 or 3 years. And they've not come to MCM. And I am not jealous, I am not bitter, but I am a little bit. However, this arcade was still cool. It was like, look, it is video games. There's a lot of really old games, which is cool because, like, I've not seen 80s arcade games in the wild in ages, but still, it's cool seeing them, cool seeing old video games. They had a deluxe outrun cab with the motion seat and everything. That was very cool. There was a queue player. I wasn't waiting that long, or rather, I would have waited, but I didn't want to hold everyone else up, so we didn't in the end. There was a different booth, which was also there last year, which had a main cabinet, I think. It was running Alpha 2 last year, and that was interesting. Because last year, I go to this place, I'm playing Street Fighter Alpha 2, I body like 2 or 3 gamers, and then one of them, I presume he was drunk, because basically as I was beating him for bans, he starts just like touching me? Like he's just like pulling on my Miku wig and touching me around my thighs or whatever. And I'm just, at the time, I'm just like moving out of the way to try and like tell him to knock it off, and I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? I beat him because he's not that good at Street Fighter, and then I don't think anything more of it. But then later on, the friends who I was with at the time, turns out they saw, and they chewed him out. They were proper mad at him. And then he came up and apologized to me and shook hands with me for some reason. So he just held out his hand and was like, "It's all okay, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's all good." And then after that, the guy running the booth came up and absolutely demolished me, which is fair. And it turns out that guy is Rakurai, who I previously knew was that guy on all the Free Play City leaderboards for 2DX. So that was cool meeting him in person. I don't know if he was here this year. The booth was. I didn't play Street Fighter there though, because my eyes, I can't play it. And then eventually, I was so knackered. I was so tired. And I was just like, I've had enough walking around this con. I think I'm ready to go. It didn't help that ice cream I had at like 2 was the only food I had. I didn't eat lunch. I had a lunch packed. I didn't eat it. I had a single biscuit and the ice cream, and that's it. Which is not a smart decision. And also, I nearly ran out of water. So I was just like, okay, let's go home. So I start heading home, and then my eyes finally start crapping out on me because I was very worried about stuff going wrong. Nothing went wrong at the con. It all went fine. And then just as I was leaving, my eyes were like, "Hey, mate, I feel like dying." And I'm like, fine, okay. So I'm sort of trying to get my way out of the con. Meanwhile, I had to take my glasses off. I took paracetamol, spiratriptin. I don't think that's what it's called, whatever. Because I was like, what if I get a migraine now? It was fine, because I was with my dad. He would navigate me, but I don't want to do that. Nothing bad happened in the end. I just had to like take a massive breather on the train back, just turn off my phone and just sit there. And it ended up being fine, with the one exception. It turns out that the Lizzie line closed. As in between me arriving at the con at about 12 and me leaving the con at about 4:30, the Lizzie line had some sort of shutdown. We were like, wait, how do we get home? Because the exit is for the Lizzie line. Turns out we'd walked all the way up to this end of the convention.
At first I was thinking, oh no, we walked all this way to DLR, and then the other one was the other way, but no.
We get on the DLR, we go all the way back to some station, I think the end of that DLR line. Just walked a little bit toward gate, got on the line, then went all the way up to where my house is. I'm not doxing myself, unless you follow me on Instagram, and yeah, then I got home, and then I died. The end. Kind of. This is the day after. I'm recording this on the Monday, and I just want to say, this was a great experience. Like, obviously, if I were to change something, I'd be like, I want to buy more stuff, because I was going to buy stuff, and I bought a very cute plushie on impulse, a badge, and that's it. Someone gifted me this little heart hair clip thing, which is very cool. They just had a big bag of them, and so they said, "Do you want them?" And I was like, "Yes, I want it," which is cool, because Arn already has one of those. So now I have 2. And I got given a free sticker, which I have lost, but I will find it. I found the sticker. It's this. Look at it. It's like the meme where Gumi steals Miku's hair and says the funny song. Gumi, I'm serious. Where is my hair? If you're curious, this is the @ of the artist, or the person giving it to me. It is the @ on the back of it. Go follow them. They are probably a very cool person. Go follow literally everyone. They are not on YouTube because we Zoomers are too cool for it. We all use Instagram and TikTok and not Twitter. Don't use Twitter. Twitter absolutely fucking sucks right now. I hate Twitter. I hate it so much. I have nothing funny to say. I have no proper outro. I hate Twitter. I hate Stepmania X. Hello, welcome to the Endscreen. I don't normally talk over these, but I have a few extra stuff I want to add very quickly. A lot of people mentioned that the con was just very poorly managed and staffed, and yeah, I can agree. I was there on the Sunday, which meant I didn't have as bad issues like the entire green being shut off, but we did have issues where a security guard would not let our group through the disabled entrance, despite the fact that one of our group members had joint issues that meant they literally could not climb the stairs that we were then forced to climb. I've heard much worse issues as well, including staff at one of the hotels apparently sexually harassing people. So, that's not good. And also on a more light-hearted note, I forgot to mention that one of the cosplayers I photographed had like this really cool business card. I just wanted to say that was really cool. Go check out literally everyone. I've got all the names scrolling now. Go check them out. Anyway, thanks for watching so much. Thanks for everything. Bye.